we got a surprise for you guys. One of the ladies on The View pushing back against the narrative that these ICE agents are all bad.
It is a reminder, as this is happening in our country, that we have to have peaceful protests, because I think any time you have someone that is obstructing or cutting people off, she does not deserve to be dead, but that is also creating this situation of a tinderbox. And this is why we're seeing more shootings right now.
DHS says at 6:50 p.m. Central Time tonight, quote, federal law enforcement officers were conducting a targeted traffic stop in Minneapolis of an illegal alien from Venezuela who was released into the country by Joe Biden in 2022. In an attempt to evade arrest, the subject fled the scene in his vehicle and crashed into a parked car. The subject then fled on foot. The law enforcement officer caught up to the subject on foot and attempted to apprehend him when the subject began to resist and violently assault the officer. While the subject and law enforcement were in a struggle on the ground, two subjects came out of a nearby apartment and also attacked the law enforcement officer with a snow shovel and broom handle. As the officer was being ambushed and attacked by the two individuals, the original subject got loose and began striking the officer with a shovel or broomstick. Fearing for his life and safety as he was being ambushed by three individuals, the officer fired defensive shots to defend his life. The initial subject was hit in the leg. All three subjects ran back into the apartment and barricaded themselves inside. The attacked officer and subject are both in the hospital. Both attackers are in custody. This is another attack. This attack on another brave member of law enforcement took place while Minnesota's top leaders, Governor Walz and Mayor Frey, are actively encouraging an organized resistance to ICE and federal law enforcement officers.
The federal government is raining down upon our communities. 2,000 to 3,000 armed agents of the federal government have been deployed to Minnesota. Armed, masked, undertrained ICE agents are going door to door, ordering people to point out where their neighbors of color live.
Their hateful rhetoric and resistance against men and women who are simply trying to do their jobs must end. So a very lengthy statement there, Sean, but it sounds a whole lot more complicated than what we initially had, that this was one person involved with a shovel. It sounds like ICE was going after a Venezuelan illegal alien who had been caught and released at the border by the Biden administration in 2022. That person crashed into a parked car, got out and fled. ICE was chasing him down, and then while they were wrestling on the ground, two people came out of a nearby apartment and then started attacking the ICE officer with shovels. And during that ambush attack, that is when the officer pulled out his weapon, fired, and hit one of the suspects, who again is stable. So it sounds like the suspects are in custody, and this is being described to Fox News from DHS as yet another attack on ICE officers.
Now is these legal watchers step back, record everything, get it all down. But the fact that she was cutting off the road also contributed to the heat of this situation. We've got to remain peaceful. You can leave no room for error on this.
I just want to say, I don't know why she was, from my understanding, she had just dropped her kid off.
What we're seeing right now is a split screen moment. A week ago, Renee Good was tragically killed while defending people like the people today
with the shovel
who were shot while attacking ICE with a shovel. That's what we are seeing right now. Exactly the kind of people that the Democrats writ large and the ICE Watch and all of the people who have such a problem with ICE arresting these absolute degenerates, this is what they are defending. Tim Walz put out a video recently, I believe it was today, in which he said, ICE is going door to door arresting our neighbors of color. And that is the sleight of hand that the Democrats have been doing over and over and over again, to act like people who are here illegally, who have committed very serious crimes, who should not be here, in the best case are driving down wages for working class Americans, in the worst case are pedophiles and murderers and other sorts of degenerates, that these are neighbors of color, as if this is like, you know, your neighbor who's of Hispanic descent or your black neighbor. They are erasing erasing the difference between citizen and non-citizen in order to perpetuate this very dangerous situation and to get in the way of ICE actually doing what the American people voted for Donald Trump to do.
Well, the
trying
videos have
to
now
get-
revealed that her partner and her were coming to watch these or slow up the ICE. They want to notify the public the ICE officers are coming. So she meant to park that.
Yes, she did. All right.
Sarah, I think that's Sarah. She said
Right,
those
Sarah
these are the contributing factors to this whole event, and she's right. Again, you all know me. I'm going to still say free speech. I've never advocated for violence during your protest. I stay on the protest. That's all. The free speech. So if people want to make that out, that's what I'm saying. No, that's not what I'm saying. I just say the free speech. She has a right to protest, but she does not have a right to block people in and whatever, chase the ICE, whatever they were doing. So, and I've said that before too. So again, and she has contributed to her own demise, unfortunately. So yeah. So we are at a stage in our country right now where this I don't know what you call it. This kettle bomb or whatever, I forget what you call it, is this going to boil over. It's going to boil over if people don't stop the aggressive, violent behaviors. And for the most part, the civilians are going to be the ones in the boxes and put 6 feet under, more so than the ICE people are.
Yeah. Folks, it's simple. Just obey the law. It's okay to monitor, have your video cameras out and all this type of stuff. But you're not supposed to use your vehicle to block ICE agents, to block their vehicles, jumping in front of vehicles, trying to pull ICE agents' guns. I've seen that. I mean, it's been all kinds of stuff. It's just simple. Why is this so hard? Just don't do the crazy stuff. Nicole, what are your thoughts?
But KJ, the crazy stuff is what makes them TikTok stars.
Exactly.
The crazy stuff is what gets them a seat on The View. The crazy stuff is what makes people make buttons with their name on it. The crazy things separate them out. So,
and the crazy things would get your ass shot.
Absolutely, will get you dealt with. And they're finding it out. Because what the administration has decided to do, rather than step back, we're flooding the zone.
Mm-hmm.
We're flooding the zone. You got problems with the 1,000 officers you have there. Well, here's 1,000 more. And we can continue to do this all day. But what's going to happen is you will obey these laws and we will get to the bottom of this fraud. You're not going to scare us away. All of this bluster that you see from these paid protesters and the handful of people who naturally are coming out, it makes me wonder, where are the other 6 million people who live in Minnesota? Where the hell are you people? And don't even get me started on the Republicans in Minnesota. If there are only 108,000 Somalis in your state, why did they adopt the Somali flag basically as their state flag? What were you doing? Was this that Minnesota nice that prohibited you from standing up on your own 2 feet? I have had it with people being on their back foot with these immigration people. I've had it. I have had enough. Americans have to stand up. We have got to find our feet. We have to stand up for what's right, and we should do so proudly, which brings me to the Unapologetically American t-shirt and other pop merchandise. How's that for a segue?
Yes.
So listen, every episode I tell you guys, you get this merch. So what I'm going to do is I am blessed enough to go to a bunch of fantastic places and do some super strange weirdo things. So what I'm going to do is pack my shirts and my hoodie and try to get you snaps everywhere that they will allow me to wear it. Next week, I will be visiting Kash Patel at the FBI, but the FBI requires that you wear business clothing when you come into their building. But I might be able to sneak my t-shirt in and make a quick change in the bathroom and get a couple photos and then quick change back into something appropriate. But get yours now so you can be in our number of people who are standing up for this nation. And don't be afraid. We need to be unapologetic about our stance, about our nation, about the tradition of this country. I've heard immigrants say Americans don't have culture. What? Is that what you came all the way across the world for? the culture that doesn't exist? Of course we have a culture, but it's up to us to defend it. So get your shirts, your hats, your hoodies, wear it loud and proud, and be ready to celebrate with us this year for A250 events. But most importantly, stand up with people who share your ideals, share our common thoughts about our nation and the prayers for this nation. So get your merch now. So I don't have to keep telling you, get your merch, get your merch, get your merch, get your merch.
Cole told you about your merch. I'm going to come back on here and I'm going to ask you all, hit that like, share, and subscribe button.